Say a review of HBM's Crypto-Corner for Wednesday, August 18th, 2010. It was actually a really good show despite some technical issues at the beginning, which kind of messed things up at the beginning, but eventually I got the show started and got the show underway, and we had a great show. The guest was Tom Control. He's the author of a book called Ghosts of Ruby Ridge. And you can go to ghostsofrubyridge.com to order the book. You can actually get an autographed copy from Tom. He and I talked about the book. We also talked about some of the elements in the book, such as the element of the Aryan Nation, the skinheads, and sort of the controversy surrounding that. Also, the name Ghosts of Ruby Ridge, which kind of we got into a discussion about the Randy Weaver situation and things of that nature. Of course, that's the most famous incident. We talked quite a bit about Tom's theories on what Sasquatch is. He was asked by one of our chat room guests, if he thought Sasquatch was Gigantopithecus. He said no. He said he does not think that Sasquatch is Gigantopithecus. Also, another person named Ian, who's actually from Germany, asked him what he thought about the differences between Sasquatches and humans as relates to Gigantopithecus, and I think Tom answered that very well. Bill Green asked his standard question from the chat room. He wasn't on the show, but and I missed you, Bill. And you're not going to be able to be on the show next week either because I have to call Tom Powell. But hey, hopefully Bill will be back with us on September 8th because and that's an announcement. I made the announcement during the show, but it got carried over into the archives, so I'm going to make the announcement on this video in a little bit. But anyway, he asked a standard question. He also asked if Tom was writing another book, and Tom is writing another book on Sasquatch. It's going to be nonfiction this time. He's going to be going to the Olympic Peninsula on September 25th. So to do some research up there. So I think it's a great thing. You know, I think Tom Cantrell's doing some great things, and I think he's a very gregarious and outgoing individual, and he did a great job on the show. I really enjoyed him. He was a great guest, and I certainly do want him back on the show at some point in the future. No question about it. He was a terrific guest. Next Wednesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, we're going to conclude our Authors Month with Tom Powell, the author of The Locals. That'll begin at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. www.blogtalkradio.com/hbms-crypto-corner. And then on September 8th, we're going to have our panel discussion on the Patterson-Gimlin film. And matter of fact, I've just gotten an email about next week. I hope this is good news. Got an email from Tom Powell. I hope this is good news about next week. But anyway, on the panel discussion, participants are to be announced as far as on the. They'll kind of be a surprise for the panel discussion on the PG film. It'll be September 8th at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. It's going to be a 90-minute show. And yes, I have gotten confirmation. Tom Powell, the guest, next Wednesday night. Yes, thank you, Tom. Tom Powell will be the guest next Wednesday night on HBM's Crypto Corner. I'm very excited. As a matter of fact, I was the first show that he did an interview on for any radio interview. So this will be great to have him on the show. I'm really looking forward to having him back on the show. He was on back in October 2008 and did a great job, and I'm looking forward to having him back on again. Anyway, it'll be next Wednesday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here. Oh, and as far as upcoming shows, Night Callers and Squatch Detective Radio this weekend. Night Callers, let's see. I believe they're having a guest named Charlie on, but don't quote me on that. As far as the night callers, a Squatch Detective, they're having he and Steve and Chris are having a female researcher on. I can't remember her name, but they're having a female researcher on this upcoming Sunday night. But let's see if I can get this page to work correctly. Oh, Scott Carpenter, a Tennessee researcher. Okay, so they're going to have a fellow named Scott Carpenter. Oh, and the schedule for the next 12 a.m. What? When did they change this name? When did they change the time of the show? Well, that's unusual. It says 12 a.m. Midnight? Must be a Blog Talk glitch. They don't have their show on at midnight. It's got to be a Blog Talk glitch. They don't have their show on at midnight. Anyway, Scott Carpenter will be on this Sunday night at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, www.blogtalkradio.com/nightcallers. I don't know why it says midnight. Obviously, it's a Blog Talk glitch. And then they have some interesting looking programs coming up for the next few weeks after that. On August 29th, they have Georgia Bigfoot researcher and investigator Jan Allen. I believe that's who's going to be on Steve Cole's show, but don't quote me on that. I may be wrong, but I think that may be who's going to be on. That'll be on August 29th, and then September 5th will be Ronnie Roseman, the producer of Shawanoki. Also, he's a former member of the Western Bigfoot Society or the International Bigfoot Society. And then September 12th will be Yowie Tony, the Yowie man from Australia. I believe that may be the Tony I'm thinking of, who goes by Rick Rocket 2010 right here on YouTube. But anyway, it looks like that's going to be an interesting lineup of shows for that program for night callers. And then Squatch Detective Radio, I think it may be Jan Allen, but I'm not sure. And then MNBRT will not be on next Monday night, according to Abe, but it will be returning on August 30th with Alan Berry as the guest. That'll be 9 Eastern, 8 Central, www.blogtalkradio.com/MNBRT. That'll be on Monday, August 30th. And then next Tuesday, the Bigfoot Quest returns with an all-new adventure or episode, I guess. That'll be 9 Eastern, 8 Central, www.blogtalkradio.com/Bigfoot_Quest. That's next Tuesday night, August 24th. And as always, we do encourage you to please tune in and support Great Research where those shows are concerned. Now, for those of you who don't want to let the Bigfoot talk end and you want to talk to some folks online, just download Skype. There are several of us on Skype who I did this last week. I got together with some folks on Skype last Saturday night, and we had a really enjoyable conversation. And it was myself, Geronda Panner, who goes by MSBFRT here on YouTube. Matter of fact, most of the folks are on YouTube. Also, Tony, Rick Rocket 2010. He's also here on YouTube, and he's on the Skype account. And also a fellow named Ron Listenings is also part of that. We even had Luke Gross with us. So it was very exciting, and it happens every Friday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Skype. You just look for these folks. Tony has a video. Tony Rick Rocket has a video where he talks about the Skype thing, and he talks about he gives his handle on Skype. So those of you who want to participate, you can add him. Look for him on Friday and Saturday nights at at 8 Eastern. Yeah, we had the conversation on Saturday night. They actually started on Friday night. They started doing it last Friday night. So Friday and Saturday nights, for those of you who don't have anything else to do, get your Skype on and let's have some discussions on Squatch. We had a fellow from England also who participated in one of the discussion, and that was fascinating as well. So yeah, it's just Skype is a great thing. It's a great way for researchers to get together. And if there's any of you researchers out there who are on Skype, let us know. Add us on. Let's see. I think my Skype ID is Henry.May77. Henry.May77. That's me on Skype. So you can add me, and I'll make sure to let you know about the Skype chats that occur every Friday and Saturday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. So that's something cool for everybody to get involved with. And we had a really great conversation. We got together on Skype and we just talked Squatch. No arguing, no yelling at each other or anything like that. It was just a fun time had by all. We all had a lot of fun. We talked and kind of talked about different ideas that we might have had on Sasquatch and things of that nature. And it was just a lot of fun. There was there were no loud disagreements. There was no fighting. There was no, I'm better than you or anything like that. It was just a group of folks talking. And we really had a great time. We really had a lot of fun. So for those of you on Skype, keep an eye out for us on Friday and Saturday nights, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Anyway, I've filibustered long enough, as Abe would say, so I'm going to end this video message and say, HBM out. Y'all have a good one.